Trying my best to keep faith.
We like this beat.
Father, forgive me. Can I go back to old ways? Trying my best to keep faith. Keep all the evil away. Wish I can go back in time. Get on my knees and pray. Take all the pain away. When I'm in the spirit, I'm straight. Whole different vibe. We on a whole different wave. We not on the same page. The Father, He with us was great. Did it again. Cause now we did it again. Father, forgive all our sins. Repented, we just wanna win. Yeah, I know that she with me. I know that the spirit, she with me. I cannot let the world get me. I cannot let these haters net me. Wisdom is in me. Proverbs, rock is in me. Ecclesiastes 1:9. You fall down, keep trying. Wicked, wicked. This world so wicked, wicked. Evil spirits wanna give me. Father, help me never not to give in. Never gon' change. Some people never gon' change. The chosen, they gotta remain blameless. Trust in the Lord, we gotta make it. Times get hard, I know it get rough. In Christ we trust. Put your arm on. Keep the faith, never give up. Look at the times we in. A lot of us slaves to sin. Gotta put down the lust. Keep the law in ya. Take away the sin that you keep within. Take away the pride, it'll change your life. Take away the hate, take away the fools. Take away anything causing you to lose. Father, forgive me. Can I go back to old ways? Trying my best to keep faith. Keep all the evil away. Wish I can go back in time. Get on my knees and pray. Take all the pain away. When I'm in the spirit, I'm straight.
Let's go.
Whole different vibes. We on a whole different wave. We not on the same page. The Father, He with us was great. Did it again. Cause now we did it again. Father, forgive all our sins. Repented, we just wanna win.
I'm a beast devil. Yeah, I'm a brew. Real chill with it. I'm walking in truth, what you want me to do. If the Most High He said it, I stand with it too. Miss me with the folly. Looking like a fool. Think not that I'm coming to peace, but with a sword for my family I plead. My family I plead while living my life. Being led by the Spirit. He who has an ear, let him hear. That word or two-edged sword, I know that they feel. Every day, yeah, I'm working hard for these fruits. Every day, yeah, I'm working. Going hard for this truth. And if I was you, I would do it too. The scripts they make haste me, get up and move. Don't hate your brother, but we rebuke. I help you out before I turn on you. We is the wave, yeah, the ox we prove it. Hit a cucumber, let's shoot a move. And if it ain't righteous, then we ain't moving. Kwam, Yasharala, Israel to move. Let's go.
Take away the sin that you keep within. Take away the pride, it'll change your life. Take away the hate, take away the fools. Take away anything causing you to lose. Father, forgive me. Can I go back to old ways? Trying my best to keep faith. Keep all the evil away. Wish I can go back in time. Get on my knees and pray. Take all the pain away. When I'm in the spirit, I'm straight. Whole different vibe. We on a whole different wave. We not on the same page. The Father, He with us was great. Did it again. Cause now we did it again. Father, forgive all our sins. Repented, we just wanna win. Yeah.
Pick up your bed and walk. Lift up your head, Yeshua. Pick up your bed and walk. Lift up your head, Yeshua.
I was broke down, yep, dusted and disgusted. Stuck in the mud, face down in the gutter. Life full of sin is a life full of trouble. I'ma get it how I live, I'ma live for eternal. I just hope my pay Tears reach the Shamaim. Undressed scales like a broken triple beam. Use the word of Yahuwah like a loaded magazine. Gotta be a Kai, unified Siamese. Against all odds, giants must fall. It's my job, I've been called. Bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. Caught up on my Isha, yeah, your favor is the best.
Pick up your bed and walk. Lift up your head, Yeshua. Pick up your bed and walk. Lift up your head, Yeshua.
Can't forget to give my double honors to the morays. Dressed to impress, looking like a court date. Gotta meet her with the judge, can't afford to be late. Gotta bear fruit, something like a sorbet. Yahuwah, can you help us, please? Time to arise, but they wanna stay asleep. A time to be healed, it's a time to believe. The truth's been revealed, now it's time to proceed. Against all odds, giants must fall. It's my job, I've been called. Be made whole. Sin no more, let the worst thing come upon you than before.
Pick up your bed and walk. Lift up your head, Yeshua. Pick up your bed and walk. Lift up your head, Yeshua. Rise up, pick up your bed and walk. Rise up, pick up your bed and walk. Rise up, pick up your bed and walk. Rise up, rise up, rise up, yeah.
All right. Shalom, shalom. We would like to welcome you to the Truth Be Told Flex Podcast. I'm Shia Yeshuv Judah. We got our Yo Ben Yahoo, and we also got Young Judah with us.
Right
What's
on,
up?
right
What's
on.
up?
What's happening? What's happening?
Yeah, what's up? Young
Yes,
Judah
sir.
is in the building. It's good to be here. How you doing, Yo?
Man, I'm good, fantastic, blessed by the Most High. Man, how you doing, bro? It's been a long week,
I'm
though.
doing.
I don't know why this
It's been a long week, man. Well, you know what? I can't really say that. It's been a long week, but a good week. My wife been off on vacation all week, so I've been, you know what I'm saying? I've been
Right.
me and the wife been, you know, spending a lot of time together, which is a beautiful thing. I told her, I said, man, it's hard for me to work when you at home. You know what I'm saying?
Make it hard to work.
It'd be hard to work when she at home, man. But hey,
Right.
you know,
Bless.
she understand. All praise to the Most High. She understand. I had the time that I needed to get prepared for the show.
Yeah.
It's a lot that's been going on. And with that being said, we gonna go on and get right to it, man. We gonna go on. You woke me up with this news sometime early this week with another train derailment. And there's been at least one that was been here in the States because there was a train derailment in the Netherlands that killed at least one person. Before I get off into this, please forgive me. I want to say shalom to everybody that is present with us, that is in the chat. We appreciate you guys. We love you. And let's get ready for this Truth Be Told Flex podcast. All right. So we had the train derailments, and we also had one that was in the Netherlands that killed at least one person. We done had more tornadoes, man, that has ravaged more of the southeast to the central east, all the way up to the state of Illinois. Right now, we are up under a storm watch as well. It done got to a time to where the news say that, hey, we got a tornado warning. I be tripping, like for real. I remember growing up, I used to hear it, you know, even living in Dallas, right? Tornadoes come through Texas a lot. I never worried about tornadoes. All my years of living, I had never seen a tornado. But it seemed like now, whenever they say tornado, multiple tornadoes pop up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we done had that going on. ICC, which is the International Criminal Court, they has issued a warrant for Putin for war crimes. Come to find out that Putin has a lot of allies out there, people that say that he is protected from the hands of the ICC. come studying on the ICC. They got a court, they got judges, they can put indictments, but guess what they don't have? They don't have police officers or bounty hunters that can go out and get the people that they put indictments on, right? So these other countries like, hey, Putin, you all right with us. Well, we already know that that's America doing that, right? Trump also has officially had his day in court. This dude is facing 34 felony counts. Now, this is something that we will be getting into later off into the show. And last but not least, I can bet you everything that I got, Ayob and Young Judah, that the majority of the people have not heard of Brandon James Bentley. Young Judah, run that video, my man. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Everyone, a man arrested and charged after police say he was on a Triad campus with several weapons and hundreds of rounds of ammunition. On March 26th, Greensboro police responded to North Carolina A&T State University for a heavily armed man. Campus police said Brandon Bentley was violent and making threats toward law enforcement. When Greensboro officers arrived, Bentley had been chasing unarmed security guards on campus. He was eventually taken into custody. Police found 2 handguns, 2 shotguns, a rifle, a crossbow, machete, stun gun, hatchets, knives, choking devices, pepper spray, blow dart guns, brass knuckles, fireworks, and other weapons inside his vehicle. He also had more than 1,000 rounds of ammunition. Bentley was charged with multiple weapons offenses, including having a firearm, weapon, and explosive device on educational property. The university confirms Bentley had no affiliation with A&T and has been banned from campus.
Bruh, what is a choking device?
That's what me and Young Judah was talking about, man.
Choking devices? What is that?
When they sneak up behind you and everything, you be like,
Yo,
the little rap.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
that's some CIA undercover sleeper cell type stuff. First of all, like you stated, nobody has heard. Mainstream media hasn't said anything.
Nothing.
Everybody, I think, on the panel probably know, and in the audience, North Carolina A&T is one of the premier HBCUs in Greensboro, North Carolina, about an hour and a half from Charlotte. Back in the civil rights era, that was the spot where they did a lot of protests, a lot of sit-ins. Up the street from that campus is where the Greensboro 4 sat in the diner and caused a lot of controversy. That's right in that area. So this HBCU, like the others, has a lot of history. And here comes this, 27-year-old, I believe, white male, walks in the campus, almost 20 different weapons. Get your hats together.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my hat situated, man. I put it back like it was. I look like a taco. Go ahead. I look like
I'll be doing the same thing. I'll be turning this from back to the front, back to the front. But yeah, this story, 20 different weapons, and he has the multiple weapons charge, explosive device on educational property charge, firearm on educational property charge, reckless driving, endangerment, revoked license, and y'all, this dude is out.
He's out.
He's out right now.
He's out. He's out.
This blows my mind, bro.
What's even crazier on everything that you said, man, and if you don't mind, I want to do another rundown on what this dude had. Like Jemiah said, he was a one-man army. This brother had zip ties. You know, this brother had, they said he had claws, knives, brass knuckles, 2 choking devices, 2 handguns, more than 1,000 rounds of ammunition, a pair of shotguns. That's 2 people, 2 shotguns, pepper spray, a rifle, a baton, a machete, a sword,
fireworks,
a crossbow. My laptop laptop to do this. My laptop never blank out on me until we do the show.
Right.
It never blank out until we do the show, man.
It's crazy.
Yeah. He had a machete, a sword, a crossbow, a hatchet, window breaker. Wait a minute. He had a chicken foot.
Chicken foot, bro.
The dude got a chicken foot, a stun gun, a blow dart weapon, a makeshift firework explosive, and he was also carrying bolts for the crossbow and so-called holy water. He had a $75,000 bond at first. They only lifted it up to $100,000, and as Ayob said, he is out. Tell me why he got a bond.
Can I tell you?
Please do, young Judah.
Please do.
Because he's a white man.
Exactly.
There you go. Because if it had been one of us, all it would have been was one of us with one pistol. And
$1 million bond.
$1 million bond. And they would have had surveillance video of us walking in Academy Sports, getting that firearm. Because those claws he got, and most of everything he had, the machete, the claws, you can get that stuff from Academy or Walmart. Now,
what is the claw? Explain that to me, because I've been
a hunting device. Like you can go on Academy or
Dick's or right, Bass Pro Shop, right?
Mostly a hunting store, and they'll have what they call raptor claws, and you place them in your fingers. So if you're hunting, if you're going through brush, and you don't want to get out a machete, you have the claws.
Right. You can just use your hands.
Got you.
Use your hands.
Got you.
Yeah, those things. If you ever seen walk in the Academy store, bro, them things are they'll do some damage.
Sharp. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Your Maya.
You can do some damage.
Right.
So, just a plastic butter knife. And once again, the mainstream media, they always slip up. If this was legit, they would have surveillance of him going in the store buying this type stuff on TV. They ain't ran none of that. So that lets me know there's some more to this underneath that they don't want the people to know, because they have all that and get a low bond like that.
You know what's even crazier is that they didn't even tell the people, they didn't even tell the campus that they arrested this dude. They didn't tell the campus that this dude was even on the campus to begin with. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
How could you, a chicken foot exactly, how can you arrest a dude that got a whole Bass Pro Shop section?
Right.
What is he driving? He gotta be driving a van. He has to be driving a van, right? And look at the charges, man. Look, felony having a gun on the educational property. I don't know what they carry, but I know it just don't sound like it's gonna carry a lot. Felony having explosive device on the educational property. Explosive device, maybe, but dude, he has got to have some kind of, I don't know what kind of charges he gotta have, but you on a HBCU, and as Ayo was explaining, this is one of the biggest HBCUs that's in the country as well, right? There you go. That's exactly the point that we're bringing up, Yamaya. He is a CIA agent or an undercover FBI agent, or he's a sleeper agent, and nobody know nothing about him but the United States government. He is one of the three. That's exactly what this guy is. Because the artillery that he have, ain't no normal person just gonna be buying that. And if they do, they ain't gonna be riding around with it.
Nope.
Right. It's just the double standard is just crazy. And young Judah brought something up a little while ago before we was backstage talking. He said, much stuff as he got, put him on the front lines. And I'm like, that's a great point, because these type of guys, if they don't become policemen and be in the force, normally when I was back in the day, you take your hind end to the armed forces,
military. Exactly.
Marines, so you can get that stuff out of you. That infatuation with guns and knives. There you have all the training and tools you want. Once you get out, from 18 to 22, 25, you got that fascination out of you. And it was just a phase with guns and stuff. It seemed like this dude should be on the front lines. Some armed forces somewhere. He had a whole arsenal on the
It kind of make me fearful, and this is the thought that I just got. Out of all this time, studying on this, I never thought of this up until now. Listening to you talk, it kind of make me fearful because could this be a shadow of something to come? Why, out of all of the places that he was at an HBCU?
Yeah.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Could this be a shadow of something that could be there? And I pray that it's not. But look, all of this stuff that he had, there's no way that mainstream media could have missed it.
No way.
All of this foolishness that you talking about, you know what I'm saying? Even the Trump news, to me, is foolishness. Even though we gonna get into it tonight, it's a stretch what they trying to do to him. It's like I told my wife and my kids earlier. I say Trump is the new nigga. They treat Trump like a nigga right now. He knows
like
exactly what it feels like. Exactly. He know what it feels like to be treated black. This is exactly what they doing to him. You see what I'm saying? So when I Googled North Carolina AT&T shut down, I didn't get nothing at the time. Now you probably will, but at the time I had to literally find this dude's name.
Yep.
I had to Google his name to get this information.
Yep. The only ones really reporting is on YouTube, and it's black media. Us. You got Willie D, Lisa Cabrera, some of the black media, black podcasts. But other than that, mainstream media is zip it, lock it, throw away the key. Like you said, you couldn't even Google North Carolina A&T shut down. Nothing. You had to dig and dig and dig to find this dude's name.
Had to find his name.
Yeah, something's not right. I like you said, if it's a fear tactic, I'm sure most people that's not in the walk are, regular folks. They're probably, especially in that area, they're probably a little fearful. And I used to, those old stomping grounds. I know folks.
Well, I ain't gonna lie to you. If I had a child at that school, I would probably be bringing my child home.
Home, right? Absolutely. Absolutely.
In the truth or not in the truth, I would be bringing my child home just on the very principle of you didn't even give us the common courtesy to let us know that this fool was even on the campus. So I don't even like the way you handled it. You handled the whole situation unprofessional, and then you let this dude out with all that. So if he had this and this is what you got, you don't think that this cat got more wherever it is that he lived and is capable of going back? Well, how do you give a maniac a stipulation of stay off of educational properties?
That don't add up.
It's just not adding up, these charges. It's just feel like something they just wrote in there and just say, oh, we're going to say this and sweep it under the rug. 2 months, people will be done, forgot about it. Like you just said, not if I got a child that go there. Not if I'm not letting this die. If I have a child that go there, and I have a homie that I played football with, his daughter is one of the top track stars with Olympic times in the nation that attends North Carolina A&T.
Okay.
So, so I went to school with her. Her mom played football with her dad. And so once again, you got to understand with NILs and endorsements, is it worth my child staying there to complete her track sophomore, junior year? Or should I pull her out and let her transfer? Those are the things families right now are going through, bro.
As of March 27, this dude, which was a Monday, which was last Monday, this dude walked out of jail, man, on $100,000 bond. Now, we know how backed up courts are right now, which means that we have absolutely no idea how far his court date is.
That is true.
He could be walking in the walking the streets for months before he even got to end up going to court, man. You see what I'm saying? And I know personally, I have seen people get no bonds for way less than what this dude here got, man. There's just on the artillery alone. Let's take the crossbow out, the chicken foot out. Let's take the claws out. This dude riding around with a pair, the way they wrote it, a pair of shotguns, a rifle, and over 1,000 rounds of ammunition. That's enough right there.
On an education property.
On an educational property. Okay, let's say he was on Yale. Let's say they found him on Yale. Harvard.
Right.
Wait a minute. Iowa.
Yeah, there you go.
Iowa. Right, we're gonna get into that in a minute. But if Iowa, University of Iowa, the Hawkeyes.
The Hawkeye. This say that he got found on. You think that he would have got $100,000 bond?
No. Ain't no way in the world. There's no way.
No.
There's no way.
What did I tell you when you sent that to me? What did Michael Jackson say?
They don't really care about us. Look, get it, young Judah.
They don't really care about us.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They don't care.
They don't.
They don't
HBCU?
care.
Yeah, they like whatever. Okay, let them out. $10,000.
And this
Hey,
is something that a lot of people don't know. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. Here's the caveat. Here's the scary, true to life, crazy part. Right up the road. You remember the bridge a while back where some of the Klan were protesting Kanye was right on that bridge in North Carolina? They had that say that Kanye was right. The JEWS.
Yeah.
That's right up the road. Mebane, North Carolina is one of the hotbeds for Klan activity. He could go there. If he go there up the road, they'll never find him. He'll blend in. They'll never find him. That's the scary part, that he's actually out. And that's probably where he drove from, because it's only 30 minutes up the road. Mebane, North Carolina.
So if I'm hearing you right, what you telling me that if he is a white supremacist, he has the backing, he has the grace of many people that is in that area right there.
Yeah, Mebane is not considered a sundown town because it's, Burlington. They've grown in the last 10 or 15 years. But that picture where y'all see the bridge, that is an iconic bridge in Mebane, North Carolina, where the Klan have marched, protested, and that's where they were when they held that sign a few months back talking about Kanye's right. That is 30 minutes from North Carolina A&T. So not saying that he would, but if possible, with all that ammunition, the help he probably had is probably from there.
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go with what Yamaya said and what we said earlier. And he could have the help of the Ku Klux Klan. There's two things. Why the Ku Klux Klan was holding the signs, and even if it was Ku Klux Klan don't like Jews either. So they was digging what Kanye was saying on that part.
Right.
But the other thing is that I'm gonna go with he's a plant. That's what I'm gonna go with. I believe without a shadow of a doubt he's a plant. Look at his mug shot. You know what I'm saying? Look at his picture, man. He looked like all the rest of them. He looked like the Aurora, Colorado shooter. He looked, when you go back and look at the picture, we talked about this in the show earlier, man, about these sleeper agents. And you can't find their parents, and you don't know if the name that they give you is the right name. You know what I'm saying? Like every election year, you get more and more of these things happening. Look, we done had school shootings. We just had one at a preschool. PK through third grade of a transgender walked up in the school, shot up the school, and they said that his motive was that he used to attend that school and that he was disgruntled about the school. So you telling me you waited till you got grown. You grown. To decide to go to this pre-K through third grade and shoot this school up. We don't know who this dude was. All we know is what they tell us.
That's all we know.
All we know is what they tell us. And just to get the record straight before we go into the critical race theory, I'm sure a lot of y'all know, but it's one of those, I still want to let it be said. HBCUs are always under some type of attack. We never hear about it. HBCUs get bomb threats all the time.
Yep.
All the time. HBCUs get bomb threats. So that within itself is not anything new. What's crazy is that this dude got arrested on campus with who gave the tip That's another question. How they find him? Where the tip come from?
Right. I mean, this dude was actually on campus chasing security guards.
Chasing security guards.
Yeah, boy.
Chasing security guards. Yeah.
Bro,
So yeah, I it would be a hard decision, especially if my child was in the athletic program and thriving, and got endorsements. It would probably be a hard, but my child's life is more important than any endorsement, any athletics. My child's life is more important to me, and just on a mere fact of how they handled the situation. Right. I'm thinking that I would probably have to pull my child.
Yeah.
So there you have it, folks. His name is Brandon James Bentley, the white guy with all the man. He sound like Bin Laden. Man. He had weapons of. He better be glad George. He better be glad George Bush wasn't in office.
Man.
George Bush was hanging the Greensboro. Everybody going down here. We about to lock him up.
They go after people with weapons of mass. So he got all the weapons, man.
They go after him.
They go after him. Go after him, man. He better be glad the Bush wasn't in office. But there you have it. With that being said, let's go ahead and transition to the Beyond Critical Race Theory. And I believe this is going to be a doozy. What we got, man?
Oh, we got a good one for y'all today. So, this Beyond Critical Race Theory is a little different, but this, it's on the same lines as y'all will see. So we're gonna talk about. I'm sure everybody has either heard or been up on Miss Angel Reese. I think I have a picture of her right here. Let me see if I can share my screen. Miss Angel Reese plays for the
Louisiana State University Tigers.
LSU. She plays for LSU. There she is right there. This right here is the University of Iowa Hawkeye, Miss Caitlin Clark. And on the right, you see Miss Angel Reese. Now, they played the national championship game on this past Sunday, where LSU was the winner, 102-85, 17-point blowout. Iowa was highly anticipated to win this game. As everybody may know, LSU has maybe one white or Caucasian girl on the whole team, and the Iowa team is absolutely flipped. All Caucasian and white girls with maybe one black girl. So-called black girl. So what happened, as you can see right here in this picture, when LSU was winning at the end of the game, Angel Reese was doing the "You Can't See Me" by who they say John Cena made it up. But John Cena, the wrestler John Cena, used to do the "You Can't See Me" on this special move, but it's actually made up by Tony Yayo. Yeah, from G Unit, right? He the one that was doing that at first started. So she did this at the end of the game because they were winning. They were about to win the national championship. And Caitlin Clark had done this to all other teams. She had been doing it all year. So what happened was the double standard of a lot of backlash. I mean, it was crazy, guys. It was crazy. To the point to where Keith Olbermann, as you can see, I'm gonna put this up. He tweeted this after they won, and it's blurred out, but you can see through what he said. Now, Keith Olbermann is a ESPN commentator, has a show on ESPN, one of the highly touted commentators on ESPN, been there for a while. And this is what he said about a 20-year-old female basketball player that was making a gesture to another player that had been taunting other players all year and actually been disrespectful with it. Double standard. So here's an article I'm gonna read. This is from ESPN also, and this goes back. So the latest development in this is Jill Biden, the first lady of the President of the United States. She has actually Whenever you win a championship in the NFL, the NBA, NCAA men's, NCAA women's, the winner of the championship gets invited to the White House. So Jill Biden was in attendance to this game. She watched it. She invites not only the winner, y'all, LSU, she invited the loser, Iowa, to the White House. Did a little bit of research. Check this out. Did a little bit of research. 1865, Andrew Johnson invited the amateur Brooklyn Athletics and the Washington Nationals to the White House, right? 1869, the first pro club was the Cincinnati Red Stockings invited to the White House. So what Jill was just did that she's catching backlash for was the first time this had ever been done. This is 2023, where the loser was invited to the White House. Check this out, what Angel Reese had to say. Now, after the game, she went into, I don't know if we have video of this. Do we have video of this? Okay.
We got
video.
Okay. Well,
I don't know if it's the same one you talking about. Let's see what we got. Yeah.
Let's see what we got.
Toned it down a little. Angel, you're too hood. Angel, you're too ghetto. Actually, I'm none of those things. I'm Angel Reese from Baltimore, where grit, tenacity, and being a dog is my second nature. Where I'm from, when you step on that court, you better be ready to defend your name and your spot. You think there's going to be handouts? There's no handouts. There are no excuses. If I had been a little sweeter, softer, or nicer, I wouldn't be the player I am today. I wouldn't be breaking records. I wouldn't be setting trends. I wouldn't be the double-double queen, the Bayou Barbie, or even just going viral. She blocked that while holding her own shoe. I'm here to put Baltimore on the map for the young girls that are looking up to me where I'm from. So you want me to be nice? Nah, I'm going to play like Angel. I'm going to walk that walk, and I'm going to talk that talk, and I'm going to be passionate and competitive. It paved the way for me, it made a lane for me, and it made me, me. The one and only, Angel Reese, the Bayou Barbie, the double-double. Maybe.
As you can see in the video, the Bayou Barbie, she's been nicknamed. A lot of celebrities say, "Old girl be balling and her edges still be slayed at the end of the game." She's a girly girl. Long hair, lashes. She's 6'3", almost 6'4", from Baltimore. She's never gotten anything easy. So she has this to say after the game, after the whole ton and people started giving her backlash. She said, "I'm happy all year. I was critiqued about who I was. The narrative, I don't fit the narrative. I don't fit the box y'all want me to be in. I'm too hood. I'm too ghetto. Y'all told me that all year," Reese said. "But when other people do it," speaking of Caitlin Clark, "y'all don't say anything. So this is for the girls that look like me, that's going to speak up for what they believe in. It's unapologetically you, and that's what I did. What I did for tonight. It's bigger than me tonight. It was bigger than me. Twitter is going to go in a rage every time, and they do. And I mean, I'm happy. I feel like I helped grow women's basketball this year. I'm super happy and excited, and I'm looking forward to celebrating and then to next season." Right? So once again, just like we told in the first story, America, you have the Mr. Ed of the week, Keith Olbermann. You have the Mr. Ed of the week, Jill Biden. You have the Mr. Ed of the week for this double standard that when somebody white, Tom Brady, Caitlin Clark, now we all can agree, Caitlin Clark, she can ball. I won't deny that. She can ball. But she was walking around taunting players all tournament. "Oh, she's got swag," Keith Olbermann said. But when Angel Reese do it, you said she's a effing idiot. "Oh, she's a queen. That's what the women's sports need." That's what all the pundits and the politicians were saying. When Angel Reese did it, she's ghetto. She's too hood. Dave Portnoy, he called her a classless piece of... So America, what's up with this double standard? What's going on? She's a champion and she's a girly girl. Because I actually spoke to we were talking about this the other day, and I feel that if she wasn't a girly girl, if she was part of the LGBTQ alphabet soup narrative, they would have gone a little lighter. But the fact that she's a black woman, a queen, a baller, come on, the girl is almost 6'4" and has a bright future. They had an issue with it. So that, my friends, Jill Biden, you are the Mr. Ed of the week. Keith Olbermann, you got some spoon. It's crazy, right? Crazy,
Yeah.
crazy.
I told you, man, when I saw this thing, man, the first thing came to my mind was, what did you say to Miss, what's her name on Color Purple, the white lady, when she asked, you want to be my maid? Oprah said, hell no. Miss Melly, Miss Willie, I can't think of her name right now. I had thought about it at that time. But the reason why I said that is because this was the most viewed NCAA Women's Championship game ever. They pulled numbers that no NCAA Women's Championship game has ever pulled. And the reason why, y'all have heard me say this a million times, that the biggest mass weapon of destruction in America is the media. Yep. I was telling Ayob earlier today, young Judah, that when I began to have a problem with Iowa is when I started recognizing what the media was doing. I'm a fan of women's NCAA basketball. I watches it every year. I'm one of the few who watch that tournament, March Madness on the girls' side, as much as I watch the men. I watch both of them, right? Because I like the purity of the game. You dig what I'm saying? Right. And so as I was watching the Iowa South Carolina game, I'm listening to the commentators. I'm paying attention to how they're talking and how they're, and everything that Caitlin Clark does, you know, it's how wonderful it is, how magnificent it is, right? When she did the, you know, you can't see me, instead of them saying that it was wrong, they said that she had swag.
And gave her an ESPN segment for it.
And gave her an ESPN segment for it. Now, let me put this out here. I have absolutely no issue with Caitlin Clark whatsoever.
Right.
And to be perfectly honest with you, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, they ain't got no beef.
They don't have beef.
The energy that we have in America right now is all fabricated from the media. They did this here. They got the people at odds. This is why you had more people watch this game than any other game, is because the media cranked up their great white hope, and all the white America say, we fit to tune in to see Caitlin Clark beat these black girls.
Beat these black girls. That's exactly what happened.
You see what I'm saying? And when it did not happen, and what they don't know, look, man, hood is hood. Ghetto is ghetto. See, I'm cut from a different Clark. I'm sure y'all can understand that by how I talk, right? My wife tell me, man, my wife is an HR manager, right? She tell me just about every day, yo, I would be an HR nightmare, right? She never had me on speakerphone. You know what I'm saying? Never had me on speakerphone. You know, she always warned me when somebody, you know what I'm saying? Give me a warning when somebody's in the room. You dig what I'm saying? Because you don't know, and that's Angel Reese. Now, is that wrong? No, that's not wrong. That's where she from. That's how she made.
I think that's right.
And when she say she don't fit the narrative, she's right, because the narrative is white. It is white. It's blanco. That's what the narrative is. And when the media saw Caitlin Clark dropping all them threes, they were knocking teams out of the tournament, we found her, America. We got our hope.
The female Stephen Curry.
That's exactly what she looked like.
That's what they were calling it. When they knocked out South Carolina the week before.
They cheated. They helped them knock out South Carolina. There's no way they should have beat South Carolina. And they just knew that they was going to beat LSU. And LSU handed it to him, and Reese handed it to him even more. Now, check this out. We would be remiss if we don't mention that Caitlin Clark herself said, I'm a fan of Angel Reese.
Yep.
I don't have a problem with Angel Reese. She said, I did it myself. She said that they should not be taunting this girl like this. Right. But understand the ruach that is on these people. It hurt them to see this 6'3", fine, beautiful black chick walking up on that little frail French fry, waving her face and pointing at her ring finger.
Pointing at her ring finger. That hurt. It hurt. It went.
What you just say to Miss Millie? I said, hell no.
No.
Man.
On point, man. I'm telling you, man.
They couldn't stand it.
They couldn't stand it. It cut deep.
They couldn't stand it.
And the very
they
thing
couldn't
that the
stand
media,
it.
The very thing that the media tried to set up, they tried to set up the South Carolina game. And Dawn Staley, the head coach of the South Carolina women's team that was #1 and pretty much a predominant all-black squad, when Iowa beat them, there was a lot of that. Media had a lot of that, they're ghetto and the way they wear their hair and stuff like that. And Dawn Staley even said it in the press conference, like, listen, we don't condone none of this. Like, we don't bother nobody. We just come here to play ball. And and Angel Reese even said it. That made them mad. She was like, what you gotta understand, the social media presence these days, these girls are friends online. They go back and forth, they talk trash, but they
be on each other's podcasts.
Right. So Angel Reese was like, yo, that was a little disrespectful to do South Carolina.
That's right.
They still balled out all year as the #1 team. Don't be disrespectful.
That's right.
So
that's right.
What the media thought was gonna be a fire up in the Iowa team, and they were gonna beat LSU. LSU was like, nah. And then what happened so it's coming out that the reason that Jill Biden supposedly invited Iowa to, because before the game on Sunday night, before the championship game, Jill Biden wanted to do a pep speech with LSU, go in the locker room and do a speech. They was like, nah, we good.
No.
They were like, nah, we good. We straight.
Exactly.
We don't need that.
Exactly.
We straight. So for some reason, being petty, that may have been why Jill Biden was like, oh yeah, let's invite the loser, which had never been done.
Since they played such a great team.
Right. Since they since they played such a great game, I want to invite them to. What do you mean? They lost.
Right.
They lost.
Right.
But yeah,
right. And I love the fact, I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna have to move on. I love the fact that Angel Reese is unapologetic.
She's unapologetic
about who she is, right? All of us should learn, and when I'm saying all of us, I'm talking about as a nation of black people, whether you know the truth or not, we all should have the same spirit that this young girl have, which is, I'm not playing y'all games.
Right.
I'm not playing y'all games.
I'm not bowing down.
I'm not bowing down.
Bowing down. That's exactly what
Jill Biden invite. Look, you gonna invite the loser? This has never happened before. Then Jill want to come back and apologize. You know what Angel said?
We not coming.
I don't accept the apology.
And she said it was a joke. That's when Jill Biden walked back the invite.
Exactly.
Because on Twitter, Angel Reese been going in on Twitter.
She been going in on her. And we all caught that same spirit, we would be all right. But instead, we keep wanting acceptance from these people, and they keep giving us the Alpo.
Right.
When are we gonna get tired of eating the Alpo? Angel Reese, as young as she is, we good.
She said we
as
good.
Young as she is, and she said, "I said what I said, and I'm not taking it back." You dig what I'm saying? She said, "We gonna call Obamas."
Well, Obama. She said, "We're going to the Obamas."
We going to the Obamas.
I said that.
You see what I'm saying? I love it. She love who she is.
Yep.
She love her blackness.
Yep.
And if you don't rock with it, oh well. She told you she from Baltimore. Yep. Never been, but it sound like every other hood that I know of, man. Hey, it sound like every other hood that I know about.
B-more is different.
Is it different? Hey,
it's different.
Hey, I love it. And the way she plays, she been playing like that since I've been watching her play too.
Yeah.
She didn't just turn that on. You know what I'm
At
saying?
the University of Maryland. She was at the University of Maryland for a couple of years, and she transferred to LSU last year. But she still has
she been like that.
Yeah, she been like that. She been like that. Yeah, exactly. Love it. So yeah, let's get that music break in. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Beyond critical race theory, yo. Let's get on with the rest of the show.
Let's go.
Your destination is 1.5 miles away.
Come take a ride with us.
What you know about top down in the Mustang, going about above 50 on the highway, in the fast lane, in the fast lane.
Okay.
What you know about just driving down the interstate, no destination in my way, in the fast lane.
Hey, I'll give them a yes if you ready.
In the fast lane.
Yes. Moving, cruising, trying to stay in my lane. Bye-bye to Mary Jane. Oh wow, how life changed for the better. Had to change gears cause I kept reversing back to my old ways, looking for the cheddar. I'm still chilling in the hood like an engine, but I'm just planting seeds trying to help the youth have a great beginning. Instead of getting drunk and spinning like some chrome rims, they need help. It's to the point they can't phone friends. Without the peer pressure up in this dark world, we need high beams, don't get hit like a deer or squirrel. Through Christ we all can make it, just let him take the wheel. You feeling sleepy, don't crash, then go through the windshield. We love the fast lane, but sometimes gotta take it slow. You hear them 12s in the back, your trunk about to blow. My tank full, cause my cup is always overflowing. I match the gas in the fast lane, you see me rolling.
Top down in the Mustang, going about above 50 on the highway, in the fast lane.
Riding with the team.
In the fast lane. What you know about just driving down the interstate, no destination in my way, in the fast lane. In the fast lane.
Sometimes when I be riding, I just pray to the Father. Grateful to be chasing him instead of chasing the dollar. Cause this world is full of sharks as I be facing piranhas. I'm all about shalom, so I drive away from the drama. My eyes on the road, the Ruach gives a clear view. Leaving all the sin in my past in my rear view. Spreading this word to anybody who will seek help. And since I got the Torah, I don't really need a seatbelt. A student of the word, learning as I read. A servant of a higher, he supplies my every need. On the righteous journey, Messiah navigation. I just put the whip in gear, cause I know he my destination. It's liberating to break bread on the road. Everybody sharing strips, we all part of the fold. Iron sharpening iron, metal grinding, doing 90 on Abba's highway, and in this lane is where you'll find it.
Top down in the Mustang, going about above 50 on the highway, in the fast lane.
Come take a ride with us.
In the fast lane. What you know about just driving down the interstate, no destination in my way, in the fast lane. In the fast lane.
You have reached
That joint is fire.
That's fire, man. That whole album, if you have not got it, it was released on the 4th, which was yesterday. It's called Goat Killer, and my goodness, I attended the listening party.
Yeah, Solemn Prophet, you got your one, bro. King Joseph, great job, man. Can't wait to have you on the show, bro. That joint is, whew.
Yeah. I was just telling young Judah that he was gonna be on the show. We was blessed to have Spider the Chief on the show early, man. When we first started, he was on the show. Yeah, Spider the Chief. He from up there, DC. Spider is. Yeah. Solemn is from Chicago, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, can't wait to get him on the show and chop it up with him and go through his music catalog, and because he's been doing music for a while, so solid.
Melky Yahoo and his wife as well.
Oh man,
who was the introduction? They're also going to be on the show as well. We're trying to get them in for September, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to get Solomon the Prophet in for October. So hey, we got some great things going on.
Great things lined up for you, y'all. Yeah.
Great things lined up. Yeah. But let's talk about this money, man. Let's talk about this money, the failure of the American dollar right before our very eyes. We got a lot to cover here, so bear with us, man. The BRIC nations. BRIC nations, which is an acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. They are leading the way of the de-dollarization, with China being the financial backbone of these nations. Now, the question is, to this, who is funding China? How is China funding these nations as to bring it down the dollar? Now, this is from an article of February the 6th, 2023 that was called China Doles Out Millions in Digital Yuan. Did I pronounce that right, Ayob? Yuan?
You did, bro. Yeah, Yuan. You right.
Yuan in bid to boost adoption. It says millions of dollars worth of China's central bank digital currency. Remember that term. China's central bank digital currency has been handed out across the country over the Lunar New Year period in a bid to boost its take-up. According to a February 6th report in the Global Times, an English language outlet of the state's Ruple daily newspaper, around 200 activities for the current digital currency was launched across the country during the holiday period. These activities aim to promote consumption, the first time the government has done so since recently relaxing the COVID-19 restrictions. Multiple cities reportedly gave over 100 million yuan, which equals to $26.5 million worth of central bank digital currency in programs such as subsidized and consumption coupons. Remember that word too, coupons, central bank digital currencies and coupons. The first thing we want to deal with is China's central bank digital currency. Does China own that currency? Yes or no? What do you say, Ayo?
I don't know. They don't own it.
What do you think, young Judah? Do China own that central bank digital currency? Yes or no? No, they don't. Central bank digital currency is a form of a fiat currency, just like your Federal Reserves that you got in your wallet. In short, a fiat currency is fake money because ain't nothing backing it up. It's a currency issued by the central bank of various countries. A fiat currency is considered any form of currency that is not backed by any underlying physical commodity. So you see that the same people, all of this is going back to here. And this is why we titled this The Hidden Hand, right? Mm-hmm. The same people that owns America's Federal Reserve notes, which is your cash, owns China's central bank digital currency, which means that those people are intentionally destroying the American dollar to boost China's economy. Now, when the American dollar has fallen to its lowest of low, these same people will force their central bank digital currency on the American economy. And there will be no difference in America's central bank digital currency, China's central bank digital currency, and every other nation's Jewish central bank digital currency. So now we have Genesis 11:1. Now all the world is one language and one speech. Young Judah, let's get Revelation chapter 13, verse 16 through 18, and let's talk about this, Ayo.
Let me pull it up.
Central bank digital currency. It's going to be one currency. Revelation chapter 13, 16 through 18. Is that 16 through 18?
It's
16. Okay, you going to flip it for me? All right. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their heads, and that no man might buy or sell save he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that has understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Now, by no means am I saying that this is the mark of the beast. That's not what I'm saying. Right. But what I am saying, that coming real soon when this dollar do break, which it is going to break, if you want to buy or sell, you're going to have to be on this central bank digital currency.
Well,
cash is on its way out.
Yep.
And you're going to have to be on this digital bank, this central bank digital currency. Now, the question I'm finna ask, Ayo, and tell me your thoughts on it. Why are these nations running and joining together to ditch this US dollar, brother?
Man, it's been a long time coming. You know, we were talking the other day, and maybe one day on this show we could do a whole show on the Albert Pike when he wrote the book and the Freemasons about the communism taking over the world after, in World War III being advanced. So, I believe the hidden hand in these nations are pretty much coming together, and it's prophecy unfolding. They may not realize it's prophecy unfolding because they're so endowed with greed and maybe, making America look bad. But I got a Bloomberg article that bounces off of your article that said the yuan surpassed the dollar in monthly trading volume in February for the first time. The mass
in Russia, of all places.
Right, of all places. The mass people don't even know this.
Con.
You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, these nations, what's going on behind the scenes? China's yuan has replaced the US dollar as the most traded currency in Russia a year. Now, is this coincidence? A year after the invasion of Ukraine led to a slew of Western sanctions against Moscow. But Joe Biden, I done seen you sign check after check after check after check after check, sending money to help Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
While the whole time, the BRIC nations, China, who all is it? Brazil, Russia, India, China, and Africa.
South Africa. Now that's just those that's in the BRIC, because you got like 15 other nations that have put their application in to join the BRIC nations. At least 15, right?
And that was my next point to answer your question. When those 10 to 15 countries' application gets approved and they join the BRIC nations, because right now it's just China and Russia that's trumping the dollar, and they're dumping their dollar and buying it on the yuan, back with the oil and all of that and all of those things. So when those other countries actually start doing this, y'all think inflation is high now?
Man,
it's going like we say, all of the apocalyptic movies where people are running in their cars and cash money is flying around because it's useless. I've always used to think like
that's that Ezekiel chapter 7. I had pulled that up earlier. What you talking about? That's that Ezekiel chapter 7 where they're gonna be throwing the gold and the silver in the streets. But go ahead, yes sir.
Right. No, I was just saying that's my point. And to answer your question, the hidden hand behind the scenes, that's these nations are working together, because I truly believe that the secret that America holds, which we all know is us, is finally the you just read a while back in Ecclesiastes, Sirach, the Most High is starting to speak. He's not going to hold his tongue any longer concerning his children. And Yoel talks about it, and you're right, Multiverse Gaming. This needs to be talked about often. And on this show, we do, but the mainstream media, they don't say nothing. You will never hear them say the Rothschilds are cutting a check to the BRIC nations. And then there's also another brother. What did the mother say? If my sons don't want war, there
never
will
wanted
be
a war, there never would be
war
a war. That's what the mama said. Exactly.
There you go.
That goes along with what we were saying earlier with the natural disasters that's happening here in America, which could be debated, are they natural or not natural? But it don't matter if they're causing them or not causing them. What's happening is the infrastructure is being destroyed, and with the infrastructure being destroyed, there has to be a check that has to be cut to fix that. You see what I'm saying? Which brings me to the next talking point. How did we get here? Now, you just mentioned, is there anything you need to say, Young Judah? Okay, then cool. You just mentioned how the US dollar has been surpassed by the yuan, right? These sanctions on Russia has hurt the dollars tremendously as well. These sanctions on Russia is hurt. He give sanctions. Sanctions was supposed to hurt Russia. It has hurt the American people more than it has hurt Russia. Not to mention that China's yuan, I'm just going to reiterate what you just said, has surpassed the US dollar as the most traded currency in Russia as Moscow continues to deepen political and economic ties with Beijing.
Come on, man.
That's another nation.
That's another nation, a whole other nation.
So the sanctions has done nothing but hurt America, and it has boosted China's dominance, you see what I'm saying, over everything. Now, the pandemic lockdowns. This is what the question I asked. How did we get here? The pandemic lockdowns that slowed the entire economy down to a stop. People, do you not understand what that did? That was the beginning of the end right there.
It was a test run.
Yeah.
That was a
test run.
Was it a test run, or was it just, hey, we finna put a stop on everything? Right. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Do y'all remember the image that kept showing of that big ship out there stuck in the canal?
Right, and that was in in Egypt Canal.
The Egypt Canal. It was stuck out there, and they just kept putting it. I mean, that's all you seen. Everything was stopping down. Everybody locked down. The pandemic is people dying across the world, and then boom, that happens. And then now, a year or two later, here you go. It's this thing is coming to fruition.
It's coming full circle, because this I've been saying this for the longest. You have got to break the American people all the way down to be able to control them. See, these other nations, China got a lock on their people. Russia has a lock on their people. You dig what I'm saying? Asia have a lock on their people. America don't have a lock on us. They do, but not that type of a lock. See, we got boats, we got vacation homes, we got we got 401ks. You see what I'm saying? We got toys. You dig what I'm saying? So in order to control the people, I gotta get these toys out of y'all hands. Mm-hmm. Right. This is what the lockdowns was doing, because what the lockdowns did was people was not able to go to work. The small mom and pop companies were the ones that was starving, while your big box corporations was the only stores that was open. Your Walmarts, your Home Depots, your Targets. And on top of that, online shopping became what? More popular.
Yep. It became the norm for a while.
You see what I'm saying? Yep. Working at home became what? The norm.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So what did he do? Now people was not making the money that they usually do. Old Sleepy Joe, what did he do? He started cutting stimulus checks. Trillions of dollars of money printed for stimulus check. Do you know what that's doing to the dollar?
Man, it's just destroying the dollar. There's so much money printed out there, the value of it is just going down.
And these other nations know that. Back to the original question. Why they running away from this dollar?
Right. That's why. Because there's no more, the value is not there as it used to be.
Exactly. It's not as pretty as it used to be. You see what I'm saying?
Or that lipstick that's been on the pig is now wearing off, and the pig that they knew that was there the whole time now is even more ugly. Now it's even more ugly.
Exactly. It don't roll off.
Right. Now nations are like, man, this who we've been dealing with, controlling us for years.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's talk about the billions of dollars that America done sent to Ukraine to fund that war. Billions of dollars.
Billions.
And when Joe Biden pulled out of the Middle East, this is what a lot of people don't understand, because the only thing that our dollars was really backed up by was the petrol that we was getting from Saudis. When we pulled out of the Middle East, the so-called Middle East, let me put that out there because there's no such thing as the Middle East. When we pulled out of the so-called Middle East, Joe Biden gets in front of the camera daily talking about America's getting away from gas, from petroleum. You think the prince in Saudi Arabia is not listening to this, sir?
Oh, he listens.
Right? You don't think that he listened? This is intentional. You see what I'm saying? So you saying that you don't want my gas, so what am I supposed to do? He like, look, I'm finna sell it to the China.
I'm finna sell it to somebody else.
Yeah, I'm finna sell it to some. So what is that doing to the dollar?
Again, that value is just steadily going down. It's steadily going down, man. That value is not as pretty as it used to be, and they're realizing that. And
they're realizing that. Well, the American people is realizing it because, like we said earlier, man, the same family that control the Federal Reserve is the same family that's funding China. China never would be in the position that they are in if it had not been for America's greed. I bet you I can look at this microphone that I'm talking in, and I bet you somewhere on it it's gonna say "Made in China." I can guarantee you that I can look at this pop filter that I'm talking through, and it's gonna say "Made in China." So if all of this stuff is made in China, I'm gonna ask a question: what's made in America?
Problem.
What's made in? You see what I'm saying?
Woo.
So what that means is that we will starve in America of jobs and money, giving money to who? China. This is why China is now the second most economic power force in the world, because of the greed of America.
Yep. That's it. Yeah, man.
It's made in China. I told my wife the other day, I think everything made in China. I need to look at the feet of my kids. They might be made in China. You know what I'm saying? Everything made in China.
Not their feet.
Oh man, I didn't say that's where they real small. Dirty.
Like, boy, y'all toes made in China. What's going on?
Oh man, bro.
I got 2 more points, man. We gonna hit the music break, but I gotta hear your opinions on it. The first one is this. I want to hear your opinion on it before I go to the second. The first one is this. America has used the dollar the same way a lot of women use children, which is as a weapon as well, right? And these nations are looking at that. Russia has used the dollar for years. And then they made America mad, and what America said that they gonna do is gonna sanction them. In other words, we gonna stop giving you dollars. These other nations see this as well. So what you think going on in their mind, Ayo? Well, if you do Russia like that,
you gonna do us like that.
When we make you mad, you gonna do. So what that mean that they gonna do? They gonna say, hey, we need to try to find us what? Another source.
Let's create a union.
What'd you say?
They're gonna create a union.
They gonna create a union. What y'all guys got to say about that?
Well, I want to read something. James 5 comes to mind.
Let's get it.
Everybody know James 5. It says, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for what? The last days." Come on. this thing right here, what's happening is America, everything you saved up, because the caveat to all this, whatever everything we're talking about, we talked about a few weeks ago. Nobody's getting loans from the banks.
Nobody.
Silicon Valley had to dump their cash assets. You know why? Because Sheer, Young Judah, and IO don't have $3 million and then to start a project, but need another $2 million to get a loan from to finish out their $6 million project. So they're not going to Silicon Valley Bank to buy the bulldozers to turn over the land and build that skyscraper.
That's right.
Because if they come and get a $3 million loan with 10% interest, guess what they have to pay back the bank? About $8-9 million. So that's not happening along with this. You see what I'm saying? So now it's coming to fruition. And the Most High sitting back, I told y'all this is going to happen. I told you this is going to happen. You got so greedy, and you what you were supposed to do to my children that I allowed, you overdid it.
You overdid it.
And then another caveat is the whole the recompense of the reparations that we did another show on that as well. So you got to throw all of this has come full circle up. All of what the Most High has been saying. I just read James 5. So I just want to leave with that on this, because that's where we are. And
that's exactly where we at.
This is where we at, and I'm glad that I'm on this side of it, because if I was still in Christianity, I would probably be scared to death right now.
Yes, they are very scared right now. I just read it today. I forgot where I read it at, but the Most High say, "Hey, when you leave up out of here, we're not leaving empty-handed." We talked about this on the show one time before, right? We're not gonna be empty-handed when we come up out of this joint, man. But what you gonna do with what you get is the question, right? That's the question. What you gonna do with it now? On April 2nd, I'm gonna bring this up too, because this is very important, because this for real is going to affect all of us. I seen it today when I rode past Sam's. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I get my gas from Sam's because it's always cheaper at Sam's than everywhere else, right? When I rode past Sam's today, the gas was $2.99. I was like, man, I ain't seen $2.99 when we was going through what they call the worst of it, right? At Sam's, right? I done seen it everywhere else, but not at Sam's. Right. And I came across this. I said, well, it makes sense. On Sunday, April the 2nd, several major oil producers, including Saudi Arabia, Russia, and the United Arab Emirates, UAE, Iraq, Kuwait, Oman, and Algeria, announced plans to cut oil productions in 2023. The cuts will begin in May, and it is estimated that production will be reduced by 1.15 million barrels of oil per day. Now, people, understand what I just read.
Wow.
Understand what I just read.
Right.
We telling you that the dollar is losing its value because of all the printing that they're doing. Well, guess what? Gas prices are about to explode because they are holding it back. The complete opposite. We about to start seeing California prices here in Texas.
$6, $7, $8 a gallon.
1.15 million barrels of oil they are talking about holding back per day. Now, you know what America has done with the oil reserve that we had? I'm sure you know why, yo. They sold it. Guess who they sold it to? You'll never guess. China.
Yeah, that's wild.
And Russia.
Playing chess. China and Russia have been playing chess this whole time.
Guess what else they done sold to China and Russia? And China is now the biggest holder of this precious metal. Gold.
That's why they're printing the money to offset everything you just said. But at some point, like you've been saying, you're not going to be able to do that anymore. because the whole value of the dollar is just going down when it actually hits the bottom. And you try to go to it, we're gonna go to the store and try to get a Snickers, and it's gonna be $11. Like, wait a minute, what the happened? You're gonna turn on the news, and it's gonna be dollar has just done.
That's right. Because when Russia starts sending them dollars back to our shores, Russia starts sending them because they don't need them. Russia starts sending them dollars back to our stores. China send them back to our shores. Iran starts sending them back. Kuwait starts sending them back. When you got all of them dollars back in America, they ain't gonna have nowhere to put them. They ain't gonna have nothing to do with them. And everything is, like he said, a Snicker gonna be $12.50 plus tax.
Plus tax, right? And it's gonna be chaos. People are gonna be begging for a resolution. Okay, just come and get a hold of this digital currency. We've been telling y'all this is coming.
I advise everyone that is here with us tonight that on your own time, real soon, just go check out 2 Esdras chapter 16. Check it out. Ooh. Please read 2 Esdras chapter 16. Because this is where we are at right now, man. Yeah. With that being said, that's the falling of the American dollar, the central, and we're going to talk about this central bank digital currency even more so, because with the central bank digital currency, it's going to make Bitcoin and all of the other digital currencies illegal. And we're going to talk about that coming up with shows later on. But let me say this before you run that song break, Young Judah. Please look into different types of currencies other than the American dollar, and also stack cash. No matter how far this dollar drop, cash is still going to be valuable to some people. Yes. Understand that. It's still going to be valuable. Don't leave all of your cash in banks. Stack you some cash. Stack you some cash, because it will be valuable. And there are other things that could be used as currency, like ammunition, seeds, for planting. This is currency, people. This is real currency, because water, currency. You dig what I'm saying? So we're going to have to be smart in these times that we're in. And you got some people projecting that the dollar ain't going to be no good in 8 to 9 months, and then you got some people projecting that it's going to be 5 to 8 years. I have absolutely no idea. But what I do know is that the dollar is on its last leg. And I think that leg is broken. That's what I do know. Barter system.
We on the last leg, and that thing is broke.
And it is broke. You know what I'm saying? Let's run that song break, Young Judah. Yeah.
Boy, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, pipe up,
AK strapped up on my arm, Bible up on my hip. We ready to go to war. Heat these demons up with the script. Spread down with the white and gold. We clean, they calling us drip. Tipsy from that oily water. We party, let's take a sip. AK strapped up on my arm, Bible up on my hip. We ready to go to war. Heat these demons up with the script. Spread down with the white and gold. We clean, they calling us drip. Tipsy from that oily water. We party, let's take a sip.
My back against the wall. But I ain't cocky. You Hoochie in my tribe, and no way we watch can stop me. Believe that. And I don't pay no fist. We load the arsenal with 100 clips and precept 100 scripts. Ready for war, so you know what that is. Hearing them lions roar, they flee to the abyss. Dougie from head to toe, it's easy off my hips. Most importantly on my heart, cause that's how I live. Beatry on my head, cause I'm a king. Double honor, Ruach land, it's my marine. All I steam to your Husha from my beam. You could've chose anybody, but you chose me. It wasn't cause the numbers, cause we had the least. Battles won off the strength of you and faith in me. They know we here, imitation errors, they looking at me weird. But when armies get devoured, they be running scared. Yahusha who I trust, and you I fear. I know you'll do it all,
AK strapped up on my arm, Bible up on my hip. We ready to go to war. Heat these demons up with the script. Spread down with the white and gold. We clean, they calling us drip. Tipsy from that oily water. We party, let's take a sip. AK strapped up on my arm, Bible up on my hip.
the script. Spread down with the white and gold. We clean, they calling us drip. Tipsy from that oily water. We party, let's take a sip. All white garments with the ZZs. Fresh down with the matcha Mitri. Gold chains around my neck and anointed up with that teachy. Ballin' raining with your hoosha, collecting rings on the repeat. Sprinkle clean with the 7 spirits of waters we call heat. You in the mind of a Hebrew. I set apart special people. 40 years is what we paid them, just telling you what we've been through. We righteous rebuking evil. It's winding up on our menu. In order to function right, we walk with y'all to continue. Cause these demons hunting blood. They want you sleeping to be napping. Then started from your bedroom, open the doorways from your mattress. Gotta keep our heads strong, going hard for y'all with the passion. Meditating day and night like Yahusha, praying and fasting. Tell the devil, look what's happening. I promise you don't want that action. I promise you better get the spaz. I promise you we gon' get the clapping. Babylon just keep on talking. I promise you finna get the backhand. Israel stand up, keep on praising, dancing, jigging and dabbing. Some people don't understand, they sleepwalking, living the America dream. Reach about down, keeping the law with Adonai, Yahushua the king. Extend the mag on my Bible, red dye with the laser beam. Double coat with the ice stabbing, pouring up Yaim. Keep showing love, I keep. We all blood, we all keys. Serving the world, reversing the curses, keeping the holy feast. Enduring the pain, both in his name, making us strong from weak. We can't complain, married with champagne. Keep strapped up on my arm, Bible up on my hip. We ready to go to war, heat these demons up with the script. Spread down with the white and gold. We clean, they calling us drip. Tipsy from that oily water. We party, let's take a sip. AK strapped up on my arm, Bible up on my hip. We ready to go to war. Heat these demons up with the script. Spread down with the white and gold. We clean, they calling us drip. Tipsy from that oily water. We party, let's take a sip. Yeah, that's what it is, though. Welcome to the mind of a Hebrew. That's what we do, man. We part. We just praise the Most High. All esteem to the Most High. Shout out to our King Yahusha. Shout out to Rebirth. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. Let's get it. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I ran across him, man. I be finding these jewels, man. Cats that I ain't never heard of.
Going in the crate.
Yeah, exactly. I had to figure out some kind of way how to keep up with these, man. Dr. J, Yoel, I just got your message too, man. I didn't see it earlier, and I want to say shalom to you. He gonna be on the show too as well, people.
Yeah.
Hey, we
got a lineup, man. We got some great songs.
We got a lineup. Like Solomon the prophet said, I told him, I said, bro, I'd love to have you on the show. I say, but we booked up all the way to October. He said, that's a good problem. I was like, you know?
Right. Good problem to have. Yeah, we enjoyed Sister Shalom out, the first psalmist or rapper artist to come on, but enjoyed having her on back-to-back nights. We got a lot more in store for you guys, so we get our artists on the show so they can, let the people hear the music and the people get to know them better, man. It's all praise.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's gonna be good, man. And for y'all that don't know, J. Yoel, Yehuda, Judah, that brother he's a DJ, and that brother. Hey, look here, man. The dude bad to the bone. Check out his shows on the Saya TV. From my understanding, he take care of all of the righteous parties in the city and the Dallas-Fort Worth area as well. And I know he is part of the Light Hebrew magazine family as well. So show this brother some love. Show this brother some love, man, because he deserves it. But we got young Judah gonna bring some food to the table. What you got, my man?
Let me run the video.
Ireland, which is my bloodline,
what does Scotland
would be
mean?
part of a Saxon race.
Okay, if you can tell me.
Of 600 BC.
Okay, so Scotland, right? Let's do it Scotland. Where did they get the name Scotland from? Where does that come from? Do you know?
I don't have enough history to know where that means.
Okay, so let's go
where
back.
Where did the word African come from?
It's a Hebrew word. It means dust. So now,
you're saying that
hold on, no. Let's deal with Scotland.
Hebrew word?
Yes, it is. It comes from the Hebrew word afar. Go look it up. Right? So now, let's deal with the word Scotland. Let's deal with the people who ruled the Scotland, which are called the stewards. It goes back to the word swarthy. What does swarthy mean? Dark skin. Boom. You see that? Scotland come from Queen Scotia, who was an African queen. Teach them all. The people who actually founded those lands, the original people who founded those dynasties, that bloodline, were not your people. Your people came from Germany, assuming that.
That's
The thrones of Europe were assumed by Germans. So when you get Queen Elizabeth, Princess Diana, King Charles, all them people that now you see as the royal family, those are people who assumed identity. Same way the Jewish man assumed the identity of the original Jew. People of color that came out of Israel. That's what happened. So when you say you're a Saxon, right? I have to dispute that because I know the Saxon. Let's take a look at common Saxon surnames.
It's distorted history.
No. Let's take a look at common.
You're teaching distorted history.
You know what we call that?
And
Why did I say
so?
Why did I say so? You have to actually come with proof. Let's go to common Saxon surnames. Stuart I already named, which means swarthy. Come back with the word swarthy, which means dark skin. What about the word the surname Braun? What does Braun go back to? Bronze, right? Why do you think there's so many white people walking around named Black, named Braun, named Brown? All of these where in the hell did they get these last names from? But you're not telling me none I don't know. Bring it up. Right? But see, the problem is your people have gone around running. Somebody give me Genesis 4. Genesis 4. Because there's something your people have done throughout.
Woo.
Was going ham. So I got two things to say about the video I brought here today. One, I love the way he used the word assume in replace of steal. I thought that was very strategic and being respectful in a way. But what I called this, besides all the information that the brother was dropping, what was going on with the white guy is what I call white blight. And for the people who don't know what blight is, that is a severe way to damage or to be detrimentally spoiled. So as the man was asking where's the word Scotland come from, because that's where he claimed his people came from since 600 BC, he asked him where does the name Scotland come from. When he asked him that, I don't have the history for that. I don't really know. Okay, so then he gave it. He was about to give it to him, but before he could even do that, before the words could come out of his mouth, he used his white blight, his white privilege to interrupt him and ask him, well, where does the word African come from? First of all, that's not what we're talking about here. That was not the topic of discussion at all. We're talking about Scotland. We was talking about your people. Why you bring us up? Why you bring Africa up? But instead of going off, he told him it comes from the African word. It comes from the Hebrew word dust. Boom, and tried to get back on topic. And instead of that, so you're telling me it comes from the African word is a Hebrew word? He not trying to hear nothing he trying to say at all. He not trying to hear it. That's white. That's white privilege at his best. And he said it in the video. He said, "I'm white and I say so."
Right.
That's the stuff that they do, man. That's the stuff that they do. So y'all have any comments, remarks for the video for today?
Well, first of all, I want to say that's my son.
I know that's right. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Them smart genes will come from me. Nah, I'm just lying. His mama killed me. She heard that. Yeah, but yeah. Go ahead, Ayo. What you got on that, brother?
Oh no, I just want to add that that brother in the video, if everybody not familiar with Gorilla Hebrew from the Sakari crew, man. Very knowledgeable cat. You could tell he is a scholar. He does his research on a scholarship level, right? And what he was doing in the video is Young Judah was saying, it's a perfect way to not get everybody riled up with the choice of words. You see what I'm saying? He uses his words widely. He just had a debate with one of the Jewish historians, which you got to go watch the video. He did a masterful job of just coming back with the information. So what I'll add to it is, like he said about the Scots and Scotia, you got to think about the history of King James, even in Charlotte. Charlotte, North Carolina, the county is named Mecklenburg, and it's called the Queen City. But a lot of people don't know that King James's one of his nieces, Charlotte Mecklenburg Steeles, was black. They don't know that. Mm-hmm. She was from Scotland. Also, he said about Swartz, Stuart. Swartz means black or swarthy. Henceforth, the name Arnold Schwarzenegger. Where do you think he got that name from? So once again, he didn't say stolen. He said these have been assumptions that y'all have made. Now, if you look at Arnold Schwarzenegger, he looks pale, Esau, but his actual name, Schwarzenegger, means black Negro. That's what it means. Swartz. So that's my take on it. Great job, Young Judah, in bringing that out. Because we need to be aware of these things. And just because you say something, that doesn't mean it's true. And that's what's happening now in the awakening. As Daniel says, some wake up in everlasting life, some wake up to everlasting contempt. The more we wake up, the more they wake up as well. But you don't know how they're going to wake up. They're waking up to contempt. What we say is wrong, and he trying to divert the conversation. It's just not working no more. 3 or 4 years ago, it would work. We would hush and move on about our business. But now we know how to combat it masterfully and with skill, and not get riled up and get emotional, but we're able to combat it. So great job, man. Great job bringing that out.
Yes, sir.
That's good information. Good information, man. Good.
If you don't mind, Young Judah, I want to share something as well, because this is history that our people need to know as well. And I think it really makes me mad. Can y'all see that? Is that legible? Yeah, cool. It makes me mad when you try to tell us as black people that we ran Europe at one time and they look at us like we're crazy. When Queen Elizabeth died, you had all these Negroes over here all sad about it and stuff like that. And I was trying to tell them, look, they stole that crown. That crown didn't belong to them, right? They stole that crown from us. And they love to change the definition of words as well. Like if you was to look up the definition of the word more right now, right? If you look up more, it's not what it meant in antiquity. Right. More was black. That's all it was. Go back and look at that Martin Lawrence movie.
The Black Knight.
The Black Knight. Yeah, go look at Black Knight. Exactly. More was black. It wasn't no Arab and it wasn't no Muslim and all of this stuff that's associated with it now. Swarthy is black. Twainy is black. All of these words mean black, but they changed the meaning of them so that we won't know our true identity and true history. Now, I'm going to start here in the blue. It's a lot of other stuff that goes on in this show, but I'm going to start here in the blue. And this goes exactly what Gorilla Hebrew was talking about. Moors, there you go. The first word there, brutish Moors, right? Black. King George III was a what? Moor. Who possessed plenipotentiary. What's that word, Young Judah?
Let me see. I gotta pull it up.
That big old word right there.
Plenipotentiary.
There you go. So I knew somebody from college was gonna get me right? Somebody from college was gonna get me right. Action, rule Britain. You see that though? This is the meat though. Rule Britain as a dominion of Morocco, Mohammedan nation under the Sultan, and authorized the Declaration of Independence. Wait a minute. What Declaration of Independence? America of 1776, freeing the Anglo-Saxon white people from the British Moors to inhabit the available territories of incorporated British Americans within the colonies. Now, this is an authorized picture of King George III right here. Young Judah, do me a favor and Google King George, and let's see what kind of image Google give us before we move on.
Just King George III.
King George III.
You already know.
Let's get an image of what Google give us with King George III. What we got, Young Judah?
I can click on one picture, but I just think this whole imagery is hilarious. So y'all finna see the entire thing. Let me pull this up real quick. Hold on now.
Google something else.
Nah, Google gon' keep it honest with you. Oh no, what just happened? Oh, there you go. Okay.
What we got?
Window. Yep. Here we go. There it is. King George.
Wow. Do that not look a whole lot different?
Wow.
That was an authorized picture.
Wow.
Authentic authorized picture of King George that I just showed you.
Wow.
But when you Google King George III in Google, this is what you get.
Renaissance, man. The Renaissance.
The Renaissance. Speak, brother. Speak.
The Renaissance. They painted all of the images. But that picture you just showed, the authentic picture, all of those pictures, that's why Putin doing what he doing, because he know who we are. All of those pictures are in Russian temples. They got the death of Mary. It is all squads. People look like us with beards around her, and she's laying in the casket. They about to bury her, and they look like us. They not those.
They all look like us, exactly. Man. All over in all over Europe.
All over
Jesus
Europe.
Black, Mary Black.
Yeah.
Everybody black.
Yep.
Everybody black. We the only ones over here.
Yeah, we the only ones that don't. The British Museum is the holder of all these images, and the Vatican. If you went to the British Museum, you can go to the curator. The curator is the one that handles all the incoming and outgoing artifacts that they stolen all over. So he knows what's in the basement of the British Museum. The British Museum of Arts is the biggest museum in the world. They have everything. And downstairs, they have those artifacts, those pictures, and all of that stuff hidden. If you went to the British Museum, real quick, and I'm going to say this. You went to the British Museum, said you was an Egyptologist, or a Muslim or whatever, and you was a scholarship teacher and you had books that you wanted to share with them, man, you'll go in there with them white folks. They'll crack open a bottle of scotch and smoke cigars, and y'all have a great time. But go up there and tell them you Hebrew. You want to come and see the artifact, you might get shot.
Right. You might, yep.
That's how important, that's how much money that they've spent trying to cover that stuff up. And you seen it just firsthand. Sure had a great picture. What did Google say? Boom. There you go.
And so, in case that ran by you, a black man is the author of this nation that we live in right now. King George III.
King George, man.
King George III. That look like George Bush. Let's run that song break.
I had to throw that in there, man.
Your mind, you be on it, man.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, let's get this song break.
Yeah.
special. The love of y'all in your heart. A love that's set apart. Prepare a place for you as Mashiach does his bride. Take you to a place that's all paved with gold. Like the days of old. Or have we been hurt before? My father's house are many mansions. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. No other love. Searched and haven't found. Abba brought you. He brought you to me, and I found my good thing. Something special in my life. Love of God. Best thing that ever happened to me. Something special. The love of God in your heart. Love of God. Love that's set up. Talk to me.
Let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, for thy love is better than wine. Because of the savor of thy good ointments, thy name is an ointment poured forth. Therefore do the virgins love thee. Draw me, we will run after thee. The king hath brought me into his chambers. We will be glad and rejoice in thee. We will remember thy love more than wine. The upright love thee. Your love is better than wine.
There's nothing y'all who has won. Put your hands together.
Something special in my life. A love that's set apart. Love that's set apart for life. Something special. How our desire. The love of God in your heart. A love that's set apart.
Tom Jones in the band.
It goes on and on forever. Yeah. Oh, something special. I love you.
All praises, man. I was just telling young Judah, I say that right there, Ak, is what they are afraid of, which is black love. That, my friend, is a feel-good song, beautiful song, man. I love the imagery, I love the words, and more than anything, in the house of Ayob, in that video, you can see the love as well, man. So, that's a beautiful thing. And we jump right into the show. Please forgive me because I wanted to make mention of it at the beginning that we was going to run that, right? That was the special for everybody that stuck around. It's not even released yet. Mr. Ayob Ben Yahoo gave me special permission to run that tonight. Beautiful thing, man. So, we want to say thank you for that, man. And like I said earlier, that's the song of the year, brother.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. We will be premiering that tomorrow on the YouTube channel at 7 p.m. So make sure y'all let everybody know. The House of Ayob is just, we're just humble just to be able to be servants of the Most High and to be able to bring you what He wants the people and the world to see. We're not all what the world be Housewives of Atlanta and all the drama stuff. The Most High is showing now that's not what we about. That wasn't our culture. That was our culture. The music you've heard tonight on this show is our culture. So they're not afraid of our violence; they're afraid of our love, and we're just, with the Most High's will, we're just going to continue to pour out the love. Shouts out to Tone Jones. He just won a Grammy. He produced the track. I wish I could play a bass like that, boy. That bass is crazy. In that
Man,
song.
yeah, it was. It
The
was.
music is the
Hey, I'm
horn.
tripping because you was in that all white leaning up against that tree. I say, that brother here just got not once, not twice. This brother leaning up on this tree and this all white, man. Hey, bro, you was clean though, man. You was clean.
Listen, if y'all would realize how cold it was that day, you can ask Monologue My God and Jay Lutch. They're witnesses. Boy, listen, I'm pretty sure
Was
my
Monologue
body,
in the
I was
video?
asking-
I didn't see him. I
Monologue
saw
was in the video.
Lutch.
Yeah, Monologue was in the video in the crowd, him and his wife and his two boys, Yeru.
Okay.
And we just, man, the turnout was great. Shout out
All
to DNA
praises.
Videos, Andy. He did the in the box video with Lovin's Lutch and Your Pa.
Okay.
He did Row-Weighted Chef. He does a lot of the brew videos, man. So shouts out to him.
He do some great work.
He do great
Great
work.
work.
And he captured, I told him just yesterday on the phone, he showed it to me, man. I said, you captured everything. When the Ruach through me wrote the song, my wife was actually going through some things that day with the passing of her sister, family member, on the day I wrote that song. And she came and then wrote her part, and it just came to fruition. And so they, Monologue and his family, racing at his wife and the two boys was there. Jay Lutch was there. Yeru and his family, Ahava Ministries, they were there. They were the best man and the matron of honor in the video. So we had a great time that day. It was a whole fellowship, man.
So the video, I'm just asking, was that an act? Was you guys renewing y'all vows as well in the video?
We had that vision, and it was crazy confirmation because the director, when he sent me the treatment, Andy, that's what he thought about. I was like, we were just like, wow, pictured like a wedding at the park. So it was just kind of crazy how that happened, but we wanted to give it that look and that feel that, the renewing of the vows or a Hebrew wedding song. You know what I'm saying? We wanted to give that look. Yeah, Sister Quate, her and her boys was in the video. So it was a family affair, man. It was like a real wedding. You know what I'm saying?
It's a beautiful thing, man. It really was a beautiful deal. And one more shout out to the block. Am I pronouncing this right? Block Canvas. You just
Black
did the
Canvas
lunch for that.
LLC. Yes. Black Canvas Music LLC. We just did the launch. The website is up, www.blackcanvas.net. The website is up. The video premieres tomorrow on the site and on the YouTube. So Black Canvas is a record label. So if you know any artists, we'll be taking song submissions soon. Teach you how to budget. Teach you how to use your Google ads and your Facebook ads.
So it's more than recording this business as well. Let's give this man another round of applause, Young Judah. Don't forget to go and show some love to Ayob and Yahoo, and we appreciate the house of Ayob as well. And congratulations to the launching of Black Canvas, my man. Congratulations. Real quick, because I'm looking at the time we've been on here. We don't want to, as the first day preachers say, we don't want to wear out the patience of the saints, man.
Oh my goodness.
We don't want to wear out the patience of the saints.
The preacher, the first thing he say, we ain't gonna be before you too long. That lets you know.
Right.
For forever.
Done preach 2 hours, man. Look here. Donald Trump, man, we're not going to stay here long. We're going to definitely talk about this more because I know that there's going to be more developing news on this as this go by. But to me, this is smoke and mirrors. You saw the news that we have been talking about tonight. This is stuff that they really not talking about because they're talking about Donald Trump. 34 indictments, man. 34 felony charges that they got on this man. Like I told my wife, Donald Trump knows what it feels like to be treated as a nigga. They finding stuff, pulling it up. They are scared to death. A lot of the things that's going on with these other nations, this is the side of the fence that I'm on. A lot of the things that's going on in these other nations would not be going on if Trump was running the show.
Nope.
Okay, a lot of these things wouldn't. Okay, now with that being said, I know how people think. No, I'm not into politics. No, I don't vote. No, I don't have my trusted man. None of that. Okay, none of that. I just know the difference on how people do certain stuff. You got, look, them other nations in that one article that I was reading. Those other nations laughing at Joe Biden, man. They calling him Sleepy Joe. They have no respect for him. They calling him Sleepy Joe. They have absolutely no respect for him. Who they did have respect for, though, was Donald Trump. And Trump knew how to negotiate and talk. And it's like you and I was saying that the things that Donald Trump would have been doing would have been good for him and his business. It made sense for him and his business. He wouldn't have been thinking about us. It's just that what happens to be good for him and his business, it would have benefited the people as well. You dig what I'm saying? And this is one of the things that they're afraid of, because Donald Trump has the ability to throw a monkey wrench in all of the ludicrousy that they're is that a real word?
Ludicrousy.
Okay, that they trying to do. Yeah, go ahead.
Idiocracy. right. Yeah, I just want to. So real quick, 34 felony charges.
34 felonies.
Yeah, so
is a businessman, exactly.
Yeah, basically what they're building. Donald Trump is a businessman, right? There are certain things that the so-called politicians don't want you to know or don't want you to do. You can't do as far as your businesses when you become president. So what they're trying to do is, remember, former lawyer Michael Cohen, in his deposition, he actually pled guilty and has did some jail time. So they're going to use him against his former boss in the hush money payments for the potential sex scandals during the 2016 presidential campaign. Now, this is a New York Times article, right? It says, Mr. Trump pleaded not guilty to 34 felony charges of falsifying business records. And I'm going to share something with y'all that I don't think anybody else is sharing, but I was doing some digging and I get it. And I'm going to share it with you in just a second. I'm going to show you in just a second. So what they're trying to say is like, okay, as a person, hush money for the 2016 or the older 2012 sex scandal for Stormy Daniels, the hush money that you paid her to hush, that's one thing. But during the campaign, running as actual president, you can't do that. You can't have a lawyer that you're funneling money through as a business to someone that you're trying to hush up. So what happens next? All right. So he's pleaded not guilty. Trump saying, y'all don't know, y'all crazy. I ain't did nothing wrong. I'm pleading not guilty to 34 counts. It says Mr. Trump was indicted this week, becoming the first current or former American president to be charged with a crime. His arraignment on Tuesday was the culmination of nearly a 5-year investigation by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, and it also sets in motion a lengthy legal process, and any potential trial would likely be next year at the earliest. What happens next? In the coming months, prosecutors and defense lawyers will exchange documents and evidence and file motions, which everybody, if you don't know, that's called a discovery, right? It's a process called discovery. So once again, the discovery, it could be emails, wiretap, phone tap. Somebody could have wore a wire and actually heard him say something. This is in the next coming months. This is going to be the process. Now, Trump's legal team is already saying that at Tuesday's hearing that he anticipated filing a motion to dismiss the case, an attempt to have the charges thrown out. Now, such motions are routinely filed, but seldom result in a dismissal. After the arraignment, Mr. Tacopina, one of Trump's lawyers, said it was too soon to talk about specific details. Says the former president was repeatedly on Truth Social, the social network of his that he founded, that he does not believe he can get a fair trial in Manhattan, which is a liberal district where he is deeply unpopular. He suggested the trial be moved to a far more conservative bureau like Staten Island. The judge overseeing the case, one M. Merchant, he has set a deadline for Mr. Trump's lawyers to file all of their motions by August 8th. they have between August the 8th and until September the 19th to respond. So once again, like Sheer said, keep this in mind. I do have something I want the people to see because I don't know if I don't think this has been shown anywhere, but I actually have the filings. Yeah, buddy. First, you got it here first. You got it here first. Looky Lou. You got it here first in the Truth Be Told podcast so that everybody will know this is a real thing. Whether they behind the scenes trying to cover up or whatever, this is actually a court case. Supreme Court of the State of New York, County of New York, the people of the state of New York against defendant Donald Trump. The grand jury of the County of New York by this indictment accuses the defendant of the crime of falsifying business records in the first degree, a violation of Penal Law 175.10 committed as follows. And then I do have a link I can put in the description if you want to. I mean, this joint is like 1,000 pages, but this is a real thing. And it's highlighting. See right here, it says, the defendant in the County of New York and elsewhere on or about June 19th, 2017, with intent to defraud and intent to commit another crime and aid and conceal the commission thereof, made and cause a false entry in the business records of an enterprise, to wit, an entry in the detailed general ledger for Donald J. Trump, bearing voucher number 858772 and kept and maintained by the Trump organization. So this is what they're saying, guys. This is what they're basically saying, that as a person, that's what, if you want to pay somebody hush money and pay off the Inquirer, that's fine. But on the ledger in your books that you were able to write off on your taxes, you saw it in the pursuant right there, the 15th count, that he made a false entry in his business organization. And now Michael Cohen, the former lawyer that was supposedly funneling the money and actually writing the check, now he's going to testify, which he's already pled guilty. See, that was the start of this. They needed him to plead guilty, because if he plead guilty, he can wear a wire. They can tap the phone. They can get phone records. He become an informant. He become an informant. Now, what the defense is going to do, because once again, this is all hearsay until you can actually, in the court of law, we all know,
prove it.
What about you can prove? There you go. Now the defense is going to say he a liar. He's a criminal. They're going to try to discredit him as a witness. That's why I say, y'all. And that's why I showed you the actual doctors that you've seen exclusively for a former president of the United States. You've seen on the Truth Be Told podcast, first time, the actual court document of a former sitting president. So this thing is serious, guys. This thing is.
They go to show you how serious it is, how bad they do not want this dude, because they know if this dude run, he will win, and they trying their best to keep. They try their best to keep that from happening. Let's get that. Appreciate that, Ayo. Hey, matter of fact, man, if you don't mind, email that to me, dude. I want to go through that. Okay,
absolutely.
Yeah, email that to me, man. I would love to go through that and check that out for myself. Let's get that buy or sell, man, so we can let these people go home.
Right on.
All right.
What really happened to make you go through such a radical change?
Nothing really happened. Like I said, I just started working out, sobriety, and my Bible. That's it. Those are the three things that I have been sticking with.
Buy, sell, yo.
I buy. I think her change is real. I think she is sincere at the moment, so I buy it. Now, here's the caveat. Everybody know when you first got saved, things was coming against you. Everything was bouncing off of you. It was like you was solid gold. Nothing could, even getting a parking space at Walmart, everything was working out for you. Everything. Money in the account, people giving you money, everything. But after a while, that newness wear off, and that's when you start to doubt. You start to be like, man, was the world better? Was it? I feel like everything was going better when I. So that's what we need to do is truthfully pray for her to make sure she can keep this if it's real, because you best believe that world, all the money she was making, on the OnlyFans, they got OnlyFans now and all kind of endorsements for, sleazy lingerie and all that stuff. As a single mother, I think she truly did wake up to the fact that, man, I've been dealing with these Kardashians. I've been dealing with this person. I mean, she even went as far as getting that Baphomet tattoo removed. So I buy it. I think it is sincere. I just pray that she can keep her salvation and hopefully learn who she truly is and come into this truth, which is the next level of this thing. So for the moment, I buy it out. I think she's real. I think it's real.
Young Judah.
I'm with Ayob on this one. The exact same. For the moment, I'm buying. But like you were saying, it's you'll never really know. So we gotta wait it out to see, maybe 6 months from now to a year. Right. If it's still the same and she's still progressing, great. But people have reverted back many a time, so I'm buying it for now though.
Yep.
I buy it too.
I
buy it too. And not only do I buy it and I give a big round of applause too. You got a lot of people out there hating on her, man, saying that she this and she that, and and say, look here, man, I'm gonna tell you something, dude. What this young lady is doing, and I pray too that she stick with it, because you got, both of you guys are right, but I'm gonna tell you a reason why she got to stick with it, right? Or should I say that will help her stick with it? Her children.
Yeah.
You ever heard her talk here lately, right? Not as Black China, but as Angela White. She talked a lot about her children, and she's talking about how her children are watching this change that she have. Yeah. This had a lot to do with the process, along with the beatdown that she was getting from the Kardashians. The Most High have a way of getting, thank you, young Judah, of humbling kids. He has a way of humbling kids. That's why I tell my wife all the time, hey, and I have some experiences in my life. There's not a whole lot that I regret, right? Because without those experiences, I wouldn't be who I am right now, right? So the things that she went through in the past got her to where she is at right now. That change didn't happen overnight. This was a process, and what we don't know how long the Ruach had been working on her, how many times she done woke up and said, I can't keep doing this. And what particular morning she went into the bathroom and saw herself in the mirror and broke down and cried and didn't recognize herself and say, hey, I got to get this stuff out of me. I got to get this tattoo off of me. I got to live. I got to change my life. I got to live differently. So, with the evil that the Kardashians put her through, we thank you for that. We thank you for that.
What the enemy meant for bad, the Most High turn around for good. Now, just think about this. If she do find out who she is,
wow. Think of the followers that she have when they don't listen to us. They'll listen.
Got a platform.
She got a platform. You dig what I'm saying? So I buy it, I am happy for her. She looks so happy. She looks so fresh. She looks so clean. She looks clean.
Different. She looks different, and I that's why I truly believe that the court case she had with the Kardashians, stuff that they was doing online to her, and even her mom has spoke about this stuff. Her mom has a podcast and was talking about how her daughter, she's seen the transition happening a while back, because they were talking about the court case where the judge kicked the mom out of court. And she was saying it was almost like the Kardashian was bringing this, they wanted that ugliness, that fighting attitude.
Them witches. That's a house of witches.
Jezebel, y'all, we need to understand that the Jezebel spirit is unfortunately, it's alive and well out there in the world. And
promoted.
and promote it. And one thing about Jezebel, she hated the prophets of the Most High, the true men of the Most High. She hated them until she saw Jehu riding on that horse coming through and them eunuchs pushed out of that window. So, and that's what's going to have to happen. The true men of the Most High is going to have to stand up as a standard and spiritually battle. They were trying to bring out the physical fight because they can go online, and that's what they were doing, going online talking about a hot ghetto and da. Y'all have a niece by your brother by this girl, and I think with all of that, she just got tired of it.
She got tired of it. She got tired of it. All praises to the Most High for the transformation. No longer is she going by Black China. She is going by Angela White. So, you know, I give her, you know, all the applaud in the world for that. With that being said, I appreciate you fellas. It has been good. It's been real. Young Judah, we want to thank you again for the remarkable job you've given us. Yo, Ben Yahoo. Beautiful video, man. Can't wait for it to go ahead and release. Y'all show that brother some love. And like we say, who we got coming up this month?
The
end of this month.
Jamil the Trunk
Rattler will be in the house. Jamil the Trunk Rattler will be in the house at the end of this month. But with that being said, we will see you beautiful people next week. Same time next week. Don't forget, we're going to be moving also to Wednesday, the last Wednesday of this month. So the 13th will be the last Thursday. 13th will be the last Wednesday. Then we'll be back on the 26th. And that's the night that we'll be airing on Messiah TV. Take us up out of here, Young Judah.
Let's go.
This world ain't right. Darkness without holy light. Without your sunshine, there is night. It ain't hard to decide who I love. This world ain't right. Darkness without holy light. Without your sunshine, there is night. It ain't hard to decide who I love.
The grace is sufficient. They twist a few scriptures, made a fake religion. We can argue facts, but can't debate the wisdom. The serpent seed has subjugated his victims, created systems, made the heir to the throne beg for permission, removed his customs, fed him traditions. Merry Christmas. Satan Santa climbed down the chimney into the fire to consume a sacrificial offering. Talk about symbolism, it's spiritual, and the fact that we never seen it like that, it's hysterical. They pseudo-truth is satirical. Only time Jacob allowed to be blunt is when he lyrical. Other than that, shut your trap and get back to the trap. It ain't clear to you. Messiah said that they gon' hate you like they hated me. Paint Jesus on a false image that may be M.O.B. Mark of the beast, I'm using acronyms to say the least. You know why we fiends, we wanted out, they call cocaine the key. And we believed, we so deceived. Disciplined by the Father, humbly brought to our knees. By a nation swift as the eagle floating through the breeze. Swooping on us, angels rooting for us like major leagues. Abba, your love is like no other. With skill you revealed how and why my people suffer. You crushed the sun for us and all the others. Would you please let your spirit fall upon us? Cause
this world ain't right. Darkness without holy light. Without your sunshine there is night. It ain't hard to decide who I love. This world ain't right. Darkness without holy light. Without your sunshine there is night. It ain't hard to decide who I love.
being Kodesh is being blessed. In him I have my being, ain't no being like the rest. Forever on a quest to abandon his flesh. Reading Torah publicly caused civil unrest. Relinquishing the scriptures, cause they would rather manifest. In these universe cities, perversion is not oppressed. Love universal law, but hate the Father's request. The sin gets forgiven when men repent and confess. You are the lost sheep. I'm quoting Malcolm X, covered in soft fleece, fresh armory sweats. Descendants of the remnant that the Portuguese possessed. The Queen's pendant had an image of the system on our neck. Most High showed us that we can't do this without him. Liberation come from yielding, not just Sunday morning shouting. Placing emphasis on a building when that building is a mountain, and that mountain can be moved by the faithful temple in you. Shine your light.
This world ain't right. Darkness without holy light. Without your sunshine there is night.
It ain't hard to decide who I love.
This world ain't right. Darkness
it ain't hard to decide who I love.
Without your sunshine there is night.
It ain't hard to decide who I love.